I'm Seth Andrews, and what you're about to hear is a true story. August the 17th, 2013. Riot police had been called to Avon Park Youth Academy in Polk County, Florida. Avon Park Academy is more than just a school. It's actually a detention facility for high-risk male youth, ages 16 to 19. It is classified by the state of Florida as a moderate-risk residential program that provides education and training. But make no mistake, this school is actually a secured facility. It's maintained by the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. It has private security hired by the state. And it was after a 5-on-5 basketball game between teams from St. Petersburg and Orlando that players and fans of both the winning and the losing team grabbed each other by the throats. I mean, an actual riot broke out. We're talking about violence between troubled and or delinquent students, practically of adult age. Law enforcement was summoned. About 150 cops arrived at the school. They found pandemonium. Broken windows. Students had commandeered campus golf carts, and they were driving them around the police cars and taunting the officers before playing demolition derby with the golf carts. 7 kids were injured. There were bruises and cuts, broken bones, a concussion. 18 of the 20 facility buildings sustained thousands of dollars in damage. Ironically, private security on campus had not been able to shut down the trouble because, according to policy at the academy, they weren't even authorized to carry pepper spray. So as this private team just sat back and wondered what to do, finally the riot police stepped in. It took hours before they finally got control of the scene, and yes, many students were arrested. There's no surveillance video from that night because Avon Park Youth Academy had no security cameras. As you can imagine, the school went back and reevaluated its whole security setup after this disaster, and protocols were updated at the detention center. And I'm sure many people have reconsidered whether or not this academy at Avon Park is still just moderate risk. Perhaps most interesting and tragic, just weird, about this whole blow-up is why the riot broke out. And it wasn't just about winners and losers. It wasn't just about the score. It wasn't just because the St. Petersburg players and fans were mad about losing to the Orlando players and fans. It wasn't about the game itself. The riot broke out over a side bet. The losers pay the winners, but then the losers decided not to pay what was owed, and the bet wasn't for money. It wasn't for money. And it makes you want to sit these kids down and ask them if it was worth the conflict and the injuries and the arrests all over the unpaid wager of 3 packages of ramen noodles. That's what these kids were fighting over back in August of 2013. It is a matter of record in the police files of Polk County, Florida, and it is a true story.
TrueStoriesPodcast.com